Heyo, this is AnimeAddiction00, and I guess I'm coming back to life temporarily again to have another look at Ragnarok Online 2, Legend of the Second, a 3D fantasy MMORPG, which is supposedly a sequel to the original Ragnarok, at least in story, and it's being hosted by Warpportal this time, so none of them closed down or anything, at least not the one I know of since last time, but Warpportal is now hosting US and European servers. So hopefully there'll be a little bit less lag, but I can't promise any lag due to traffic, because there's been a lot of players in here. So anyway, enough of that rambling. Hopefully I can get something told in here unlike the last time. So I'll show you some of the create character modes. But for my characters I made up to 4. You can have up to 5 characters it looks like. Maybe even more by that other thing, but anyway. Got your 5 classes here. Got your swordsman, and they can change jobs to warrior or knight when you reach level 25. I like how it'll at least tell you what you can change it into or something. Cause you might have an idea, but you know. You have magician. I like the backgrounds they put with the jobs. I think it helps add a little bit of personality to them. You can change to a wizard or sorcerer when you're level 25. Speaking of levels, I think the level cap as of right now is 30 to 40. I'm not too sure because some events on the main website said something about reaching level 30 within a certain specified time, and some of them actually said 40, I believe, unless my memory's pretty bad. So anyway, Archer here with all the nice trees and nature and flowers floating around. Excuse me. You can change to a ranger or a beastmaster. That's a new one to me. And Thief with the assassin or rogue at level 25. And finally Acolyte for a priest or monk for the, job advancement. Before I get any further, if any of you are familiar with the original Ragnarok, I did mention that it's at least a sequel in name and, story-wise, so it's not the Ragnarok you'd come to know, but doesn't necessarily mean, you shouldn't, it's not completely not worth checking out because, at least it's free to try, right? So anyway, rambling a little bit off topic again. Gone are the merchant classes if you want to compare them to the original Ragnarok, and instead with each character you can each have your own little job from the choice of 4. You can be a chef to cook foods for buffs and recovery over time out of battle, or such like that. You can be an alchemist to make magic potions and tools, it says. I'm not quite sure about the tools. I do know they can make buff potions, though they just don't last as long as the food. So they'll probably, I'm not sure if they're as potent or not as or greater. Anyway, blacksmith can make weapons for all classes and heavy armors. So swordsmen really like that profession. And you have artisan that can make clothes, light armors, and accessories like hats. Unfortunately, they can't make bags, but I'll get to that in a little bit once we get to it. So once you've chosen your class and your job, excuse me again, you can choose what you want to look like you expect. We have a decent amount of options here. You have 15 hairstyles. I think you have like 15 hair colors too. Yes, 15 hair colors. You've got 9 face styles. You can choose your eye color from 17. You can even pick a little voice from a little sample down here. Although I will just do a little light warning that even if you think you like the voice in that sample, you won't really know what they sound like until you're actually in the game. I've had to remake my character because it really nitpicked at me until I could get the voice that I could really tolerate the entire time. And you can even choose your eye style, like the pupils and bigger, so cat-like and that, and stuff like that. And I have seen a lot more, but that's really not bad for free to play. Anyway, I'll show you actually a little bit of gameplay, so you actually have something maybe kind of interesting to look at. I don't know. I got semi-far in this character. It's the only one I've played. I just made the other characters to kind of preserve their name and get their look settled in. The good news is that if you delete your character, you can use your name immediately after. So if you mess up, you can continuously remake your character until you get it right, unless someone happens to know your name and steals it from you in that immediate second. or so. I might be getting some lag because, you know, I'm on channel 16. It was kind of more than halfway crowded. So immediately I'm just looking around, and you can press A and D when you're not moving to, you know, look around. You can, you know, use WAS and D for normal moves like you'd expect, and Q and E for strafing left and right. You can also move the camera with holding the right click to make your character move, but if you don't want your character to move and turn around, you can click and hold the left mouse button. It kind of messes up. Oh, it doesn't anymore. That's good. Before, I think it used to mess up my walking, like if I went that way and I went forward, she would come towards me, but instead she just goes forward wherever the camera's facing. Like when you press W to go forward. Thankfully, even though you'll be moving forward a lot and you don't want your W key to have a strike and just come off, you can press number lock to auto move. And I'm gathering right here because my job is a blacksmith, so anything that's gatherable by your profession will be nice and sparkly, so you know what the heck you can, you know, gather and not gather. It's different between each class. Some classes can even search monsters after their initial loot drops for extra materials. Okay, so let me see here. You got your mini-map up there. You can zoom out or zoom in. You can zoom out pretty far. I should probably keep it far out so I can check. Apparently have a threat meter here. If that's when you're fighting a monster to keep threat on you, I'm not sure if that's easy to keep track of. You can change your channel from this little thing. Yeah, see, pretty crowded. Oh, hey, 16 went down a little bit, so that's good, because I'm in that one. So other things, let me see. You can press M to show the full type of map. You can also press M again, so it's more of a transparent type thing. And if you press and hold Control, you can move it wherever you want. I think. I was able to do this before, now I kind of can't. This makes me seem like I'm lying. Ah! I really did move it before, though. Oh well. Hopefully you'll take my word for it. Because before it was centered, but now it's to the left, in case I ever do that and it's not right in front of me. Battle is what you'd probably expect for most MMOs. You use hotkeys and combos. Well, that's not always what you expect, but I see a lot of MMOs actually use that. I think, not runes. What was it? Runes of Magic, it was runes. Runes of Magic kind of uses like a little combo system in between with it. Because, for example, with this attack, when I charge the arrow, I gather that little concentration, that little bar right there, and I can use double strafe with it for 30 concentration. So yeah, there you go. Just casually killing people, but don't worry, these guys are evil. They deserve it. They totally deserve it. Just a little nice feature that people usually can't resist asking. You can jump, and you can jump over fences if, you know, they're not too high. But you can jump over things and it doesn't restrict you. There's also swimming. These may not seem like important things to add, but I remember when I was playing another game, I went into the water hoping I could swim or just get away from a huge mob, and instead I could not move forward just because of a small puddle. That was kind of annoying. It's like, oh no, I can't take a swim or even step in this freaking puddle. Now I'm gonna die. You can check your character information with the C button. To your equipment here, you can change your job outfit if you happen to not like your class outfit. You can see your cosmetic costumes and your cards. Cards drop from monsters, and you can combine them as a special card, not merchant, card expert of some sort to make them more potent. And with certain level milestones, you'll unlock more slots to equip them. And when you combine them, you can only do it once, because I tried doing it again to make this one better, and I don't think it really helped much. Or, I mean, I don't think it told me I could do it at all. You also press this little tab here to upgrade your stats. I still have some to put in, but I'm going to think about that a little bit more before I do. Your basic stats are Strength, Agility, Intelligence, Wisdom, and Vitality. Vitality is for more hit points. Wisdom is for more SP. Intelligence is for magical damage. I'm not sure if it's for anything else because it's not telling me right here, but I assume it's basically magic damage. Agility is critical and dodge. Strength is attack, power, and parry. You also have this little tab to the right, which tells you dungeon lockout, apparently. I'm not sure if I have to be in it, or I just was in it, and it tells me when it'll reset, because I haven't been in the dungeon yet. I mean, I'm not sure if those little dungeons before count, but they're part of the story, so it might be like raid dungeons, like the serious ones. So yeah, I obviously have not gotten that far yet, and I don't want to kill Steel. Okay. I can totally attack it now. One of the worries of a long-range class, but that is supposed to not be a worried long-range class, because it just smacked me from 10 feet away. I'm hoping they fix that. But yeah, I kind of lightly mentioned before that they called it the commercial release earlier, but I'm not sure if anyone else calls it that, or if they call it an open beta like I'm going to, but I'd rather call it an open beta because when they say commercial release, they might assume it's finished or bug-free, and this certainly isn't, because there was just a big dropping bug. They had to reset the server. You know, there are some problems, especially that range issue, so it makes it seem like being an archer pointless. So, yeah, hopefully that's one of the major things to get fixed. You can press I, getting back to other control type things. You can see all mounts that you're able to get, whether by cash shop or whatever else, and you can preview them. Oh, I remember those. That's cute. So they each have varying increase of speeds. And you can also just go the ones you own, so I think it's kind of nice to have it all in one convenient spot. But since I has taken, B is for your inventory or your bags. Oh, you'll find bags as you fight along and everything. So you'll probably be able to upgrade them by swapping them out. If you want to swap one out, let's see. You just drag it off, and then right click to equip one. So that's pretty easy. And even if you happen to not be so lucky with bags, some people are setting up shops to sell bags, so you'll be set with your inventory soon enough. Someone just started crafting right behind me. It seems like I'm protecting them so they can work their tailoriness in peace. Semi-peace. Oh god, my inventory's getting kind of full with bags. Since everyone else is selling them, I should probably just sell them in a normal store and make some dang room. What? Oh, that's... Finally, I remember. What's really interesting about this is, aside from your normal quests, you can also stack Kara quests or achievements. Sometimes when you complete certain ones, you'll get points, and then you can challenge certain ones which require points, like, for example, this one. This one, it is challengeable at level 11, and if I choose to challenge it, it'll take 30 points, and I just have to find a red robber bug to kill, and I'll get a special title. Other ones, you can challenge without using points, and then they'll give you points, so you can, you know, challenge the ones that require the points. And if you press this little tab over here, you can see your title list. It's whoa, that's a lot of titles. And I like it when titles aren't just cosmetic. I mean, as much as I like titles, you know, for just being titles, I like it when they actually add something to it, and these ones do. They add, like, little stats and everything. Stuff like that. So let's see, am I forgetting anything? I don't think so. Aha! PvP. I don't really know much about PvP other than you can duel each other as, you know, just by little invites and kill each other for fun out in the wilderness. That blood droplet I saw on the character screen, I don't know what that's about. It might be a hint of some kind of PvP point later to save up for rewards. I wish I knew, but unfortunately I don't. So it just released on May 1st, so I'm not sure if there's much information to be had, or if I should just, like, look on the foreign wiki and see if there's anything, but even if I did, I wouldn't be able to remember all that. That's probably, like, not really important to mention, but, you know, right-click to loot stuff. Especially since they probably tell you during the novice area, so it's not really relevant. And you also got your skills, so you can beat stuff up more efficiently. You open it with the T key. T key. Ha ha ha! That was bad. I'm thinking of when masks now or something. Anyway, or torches. Anyway, times 2. You look at your skills here, Excuse me. And it's pretty easy to get the ones you want, but you might just have to be patient and choose between getting a new skill you think you'll need or powering up certain ones. Excuse me again. Because if I wanted this one, I can definitely get it. It's not restricted by level. You just have to have the skill points, which you get by leveling to do it. For example, I have to get this one to be number 1, and that one to be, well, not number 1, but I have to put 1 point each before this one is available, the multi-shot one at the very end. And then I can choose to power it up as I want to, but you do have to probably put points into skills you may not want to get the one you really do want. So it's good to look it over. And something I like is that they have like a little skill preview for your advanced classes that you can change into later. I think it kind of helps to save up or just look at the class you think you might want to be interested in. And some of them are kind of different transitions, and it could be off-putting if you don't, if it seems a bit weird. Like, for example, I'm an archer, and the next one is a ranger or beastmaster. So you think they'd stay ranged in one way or another, and maybe the beastmaster just summons animals or something. Well, it does have to do with animals. I think you can actually become an animal, but it sounds like it's, dang it, I keep accidentally exiting it. But it's for physical combat only, and you even switch to a spear instead of a bow and arrow. So it's definitely a different transition, but because the stats work differently, it can still work. It's just not something you'd expect, honestly. And since intelligence is mostly for, like, magic, like I mentioned before, you'd think the acolyte to monk thing would be kind of doomed, but you're actually not, because I noticed that there's a skill there that once you learn when you become a monk, that all your points put into intelligence add to your strength. So even if you put nothing into strength, which you probably shouldn't as an acolyte, it will still count as having strength once you finally get there. So at least they didn't completely break that, because that would have been kind of dumb. So I think the last thing I know of is that there are a couple events going on, like whoever can stay on the longest or have the most hours or something, or who can get to like level 30 or so within the first 10 days of the game being open, which is kind of difficult because they've had server issues, either because of traffic or just because they've had issues. But yeah, I think that covers pretty much everything I wanted to say. At least I hope so, and if I didn't, I'll probably show something later. Like instance dungeons, but I will probably at least show one of those. So if you guys want to give it a shot, go on Warpportal, and it's even on Steam. But it's kind of wacky or something with how it works. So hopefully you can get it to work, but just make sure to check the communities if you need help. Anyway guys, bye!